to just share some of the things that we tend to keep in our cupboards and run to the store and stock up on as the cooler temperatures start to come in. Some of the staples that we turn to. And we have some of them here with us today. So Kim, I'll kind of let you explain a little bit.
Sure. So lentils are a huge part of both of our diets in the winter. They're very, very high in protein and
many minerals. I mean, they're high in minerals and protein. They're just a power food. I mean, you get a lot of bang for your buck. I mean, they're very, very cheap, but really, like, nutritionally speaking, calorie-wise, they're pretty low, but they're loaded with good stuff for you.
And they come in all sorts of different colors, which makes so another great seed. Where is the seed from?
It's from South America, and it's called quinoa. It's a power-packed food. Again, it's one of those superfoods. It's full of protein, full of a ton of vitamins. It's like a complete protein source. It's a really, really wonderful.
And this is a dark red one, but it actually comes also in a lighter color.
It does, and they're all pretty equal, and they all taste about the same. So,
and they're a fabulous substitute for rice, especially white rice. Really, if you don't have access to a brown or a wild mixed rice, going with the quinoa is fabulous. You literally won't notice a difference. And then I've also just got some wild rice here in a bag that I just happened to pick up in the organic section, and some brown rice. They're more expensive, sometimes significantly more expensive than white rice, but they're much healthier.
It is much healthier. And I think the biggest question people often have is, okay, so we have lentils and quinoa and this wild rice, what do I do with it? So not to worry, we will actually be posting some more recipes, but just quickly I'll tell you some of the ways that I use it, and Kim can share some of her ways as well. But with lentils, we often will add that to a meat sauce. Instead of making a meat sauce for spaghetti, we'll add lentils and leave the meat out, and it leaves you with a really hearty, yummy sauce, but without the saturated fats and things that are included in meat. And then we'll also add it to a chili in the same fashion. You can add it as well as maybe like a lean ground turkey or something, but it just makes your sauces and your soups really, really hearty. And then quinoa for me, I do often use it as I would a rice, with maybe some black beans and some lime and something like that. Or sometimes I'll even use it as hot cereal in the morning. So I'll make it in the morning, add some, some vanilla, some cinnamon, and maybe a little bit of brown rice sweetener or whatever you may choose, and have it like you would a hot cereal.
And these all take on the flavors of whatever wonderful spices you put in them. Lentils are fabulous, with curries. And,
yes.
And I mean, if you're a big fan of Indian food, like I think we both are, you can really, on a very, very small budget, create something that's very, very hearty and incredibly flavorful.
Right, very, very tasty. And although some of you may not be familiar with Indian cooking, and I wasn't until more recently, it's actually incredibly easy, and we can, again, post some recipes and give you some pointers on that, so don't be intimidated by it. It's very easy.
And something I do in the winter, particularly when my boyfriend's traveling and I'm by myself and I want to eat something healthy and hearty, but I'm kind of lazy and you're making something for one person.
Right.
I'll literally take one of these, and I'll literally just fill up a little bit of each of these things, of some brown rice, some quinoa, some different colored lentils towards the top. I'll take that, I'll just dump it into a pan, and then I'll put 3 or 4 of these of water. You can always dump out extra water if it's done, so don't worry if it's not perfect.
Or chicken broth or vegetable broth.
Yeah, vegetable broth. I do vegetable broth as well a lot. Just dump it on, let it sit for an hour or two, and it's like you have like this really like wonderful mix. This really
So something too that I tend to do with lentils, quinoa, and also different types of beans like red kidney beans and black beans is I'll make a large pot of them at one time, and then you can put them in jars and keep them in the freezer so that at a later time you can just pop them out, thaw them in some cold water for an hour or so and use them. So it's really something nice to have on hand. Or if you make a large batch of them, before you season them, kind of portion them out, and you can use them for different types of things throughout the week.
It's all wonderful on salads too, even if it's just cold, having a little bit of quinoa over some